Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS B&B Full Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila's 6 words were bad news for Deacon and Taylor. Their secret love was about to be exposed. Sheila's 6 words did not come at Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes like a yell or a warning. They came into the room quietly like a knife going into something. Right then everything that Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes had built in secret started to fall apart. This was happening in ways that Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes did not see coming. Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes were in trouble because of Sheila's 6 words. Sheila's 6 words were going to change everything for Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes. The world of the bold and the beautiful had seen people do things to each other before. They had heard people say things that messed up their families. They had seen people fall in love and then stop loving each other all under the roof. This time it was different. It was not someone making a speech or doing something dramatic. It was 6 simple words that someone said in a calm voice. Those words changed everything that was going to happen. The room got really quiet, like the walls were moving in to hear what was being said. Then Sheila Carter, a woman who had been through a lot and had learned how to survive, said the truth in a calm and careful way. The bold and the beautiful people were used to surprises, but this was something else. Sheila Carter said those 6 words. It was like everything stopped. The air in the room changed, like people were holding their breath waiting to see what would happen next. She did not shout, she did not plead, she did not posture. She just said what she knew, and that is all it took to mess everything up. The knowledge she had was enough to ruin everything. Deacon was the first to feel it. His chest got tight like someone was pulling a rope around his ribs. He understood that secrets do not go away quietly. Secrets, they pick the worst time to come out again. Secrets like that do not die, they just wait for the possible moment to come back and cause trouble, and that is exactly what happened with Deacon and the secret that she knew. Taylor felt it too, a feeling that took her breath away and made her calmness feel like it was going to break. She had been teaching others to face their problems for a time, but she had told herself that she could keep this one thing hidden. They were very careful, telling themselves that the love they had for each other could stay a secret, that Taylor and the other person could keep their love private because of all the things that had happened to them. They thought their love was okay because of their situation and the pain they had been through and the things that had happened in the past. Taylor and the other person had convinced themselves that their love could stay hidden, that it would not hurt anyone. Sheila was never fooled by people trying to hold back or by them staying away. She was not fooled by the things people say to make themselves feel better at night. Sheila paid attention. She listened to what people were saying. She also paid attention to the things people did not say. She watched the way people looked at each other and the times when they did not say anything. Sheila did this in a careful way, like an animal watching what its food does so it can catch it. When Sheila said those 6 words, she was not just making a guess. She was saying what she knew was true. This had an effect on everyone, and it happened right away. The effect was also very harsh. Sheila and her words were like a rock thrown into a lake. The water started moving and it did not stop. The words Sheila said were the truth, and people had to deal with that truth. Deacon's mind was over the place, thinking about every decision that had brought him to this point. He thought about all the late-night talks that turned into something. He thought about all the times he told himself he deserved to be happy after making many mistakes. Taylor's thoughts were going in the direction. She was feeling guilty and thinking about being loyal. She knew this secret was not about Deacon and her, it was about Brooke, Ridge, Steffy, Hope, Finn. The whole family. This family was already complicated, and Deacon and Taylor's secret was going to make things even worse for them. Sheila saw them take the blow without flinching, and the look on their face was hard to read. It was like they were happy and sad at the time. Sheila got it though. She knew that the truth is what really matters and that it can be used to control people. The truth is power, and power is never fair. The room started to feel really small as all the consequences added up, each one weighing more than the last. Sheila and Deacon had a history together. It was always there, lurking in the background, reminding Deacon that he could not escape his past. No matter how fast he ran, his past would always catch up to him. It would often be someone he knew, like Sheila, who would bring it back up. Taylor's instincts finally kicked in, telling her to breathe and calm down. She needed to think about what was happening. But this was not about someone, it was about her own problem. She could not just stand back. Look at it like a doctor looks at a patient. The love they had kept hidden now seemed crazy and selfish. They had thought it would not hurt anyone. Now it was out in the open. It was not about Taylor and the person she loved anymore. It was about what would happen. People's trust was. Friendships would change overnight. The secret love of Taylor and the person she loved would cause a lot of problems. Sheila said 6 words. They stuck with people for a long time. They kept echoing in their minds, reminding them of what happened and how it would affect them. Once you say something, you cannot take it back. People outside the room did not know what was going on. The people inside would never forget. Deacon thought about how Hope would feel if she found out the truth. He pictured her face. Felt bad because he knew she would be really disappointed. This disappointment would hurt her more than being angry. Deacon wondered if people can ever really make up for their mistakes or if they have to keep dealing with the consequences of things they did wrong a time ago. Taylor thought about Ridge, about Brooke, and about the never-ending problem that had been a part of their lives. She felt really bad about what was happening. It was funny in a way. She was the one who always tried to help people and make things right, but now she was the one causing trouble. This was going to hurt people she cared about, people she had tried to help for years. Sheila seemed to be thinking about what she had done. Even she knew that hurting people would have consequences even for her. She always thought what she did was necessary, it was the way to survive, it was her way of getting justice. But then she saw Deacon and Taylor, they were on the edge of losing everything. This made her think about something she did not want to think about. You cannot control everything, and when people find out the truth, it changes them, it even changes the person who told them. What happened after that spread fast, like it always does in this world. People talked about it on the phone, they gave each meaningful looks, and there was silence where people used to laugh. The truth about Deacon and Taylor and what happened to them was all people could think about. Deacon tried to calm down. Told himself that being honest, even if it is hard, can be a weird kind of freedom. The word freedom sounds mean when it costs this much. Taylor went into her world thinking about everything that happened to get to this point. She wondered if love is ever worth all the things that come with it. Deacon thought about freedom. What it really means to him. Taylor thought about love and all the pain it can cause. Sheila said 6 words. Then she went back into the shadows. This left a mess for everyone else to deal with. That is what Sheila always did. She would show up, say something, and then she would disappear. The people in the bold and the beautiful world were very upset that day. It was not because someone yelled at someone or because there was a big scandal. It was because Sheila told a secret that nobody wanted to hear. The bold and the beautiful universe was different after that day. Secrets had been exposed, loyalties tested, and the illusion of control shattered, proving once again that in this world, love is never simple, truth is never gentle, and sometimes it only takes 6 words to destroy everything. The shock of Sheila's 6 words did not end when the room fell silent. It only started then. The shock just kept going slowly and steadily, like a crack that spreads through glass. Everyone acted like the glass was still fine. It was not. Deacon stood there for a time even after Sheila's footsteps were gone. His mind was stuck between the man he used to be and the man he wanted to be. The man he wanted to be was someone from the man he used to be, and that was hard for Deacon. Sheila's 6 words made him think about this. He had always known that loving Taylor was an idea, not just because of the things that had happened between them, but because of what Taylor meant to him. Taylor was like a way to being a good person, to being forgiven, to being someone who deserved to be happy. Now that was all falling apart. Everyone important could see it. Taylor, on the hand, felt really weird, like she was watching herself from far away. She was used to being in control. Now she felt like she was coming undone. It was like she was seeing it happen to someone else. She felt her heart racing, her breaths were really shallow. Her hands were shaking. These were all things she had helped other people deal with for a time. Now she was the one who needed help. None of the things she knew could make this problem go away. This was not something she could keep to herself anymore. It was going to become public. She would have to face the consequences. Knowing that this was going to happen was weighing heavily on her. The knowledge of what was coming felt like a weight pushing down on her. News goes around fast in Los Angeles. When it comes to the people close to the Forresters, the Spencers, and the Hayes, news spreads really quickly. Brooke figured something was up before anyone said a word to her. She noticed Taylor was not looking her in the eye. Whenever someone said Deacon's name, there was this weird silence. Brooke has been in situations like this before, so she knows what to look out for. When she finally found out what was going on, it was not the story, but she got the idea. And you know what, it did not shock her much as she thought it would. It made her feel empty inside. Being angry would have been simpler. Feeling betrayed made her think about things too much and remember all the times she had done wrong things and gotten into trouble because of it. Ridge felt things differently. He got really mad away, and this was because of something that had happened to him a long time ago, something that he thought would never fully go away, it would just get covered up. Deacon reminds him of chaos. The fact that Taylor is involved with Deacon feels like a failure to him. It feels like Taylor has betrayed Brooke, and also broken the peace that their family was trying to keep. Ridge is angry. It is not just because of what is right or wrong. Ridge is angry because he is scared. He is scared that no matter how hard they try, the past will always come back to haunt them. The past will always be a part of their lives. That is what Ridge is really afraid of, the past and Deacon. Steffy heard the news. She was really strong about it, which even surprised herself. She learned a lot from living with people who were not very responsible. She knew that she could not just sit around and be shocked. She had to do something. Steffy was worried about what would happen to her parents, because they were already having a lot of problems. She was also worried about her kids and what would happen to them. Then there was Finn, who had a lot of bad experiences with Sheila in the past, so anything that had to do with Sheila made him really nervous. Steffy knew a way that if Sheila was involved, even if it was just to deliver a message, it would cause a lot of trouble for everyone. Sheila's involvement made everything bad, like it was poisoned or something. Finn was really struggling with this. He had sworn to heal people. At the same time, he wanted to protect them. The problem was his mother, the woman who had given birth to him. She was causing a lot of trouble. Finn did not know what to do. He tried to tell himself that what Sheila said was the truth and that it was not good or bad, it was just the way things were. It was hard for Finn to think that way when the truth was told at a time that was clearly chosen to cause the most hurt. The way Hope reacted to all of this was really hard for Deacon to deal with. She did not get angry or yell at anyone. Instead, she just became very quiet and withdrawn. Her disappointment was clear. It was very sad to see. To her, this was not just about Taylor or Brooke or Ridge. It was about trust. It was about believing that her father was finally different. When she saw that trust break, it hurt her a lot more than anything her father could do to her. The pain of seeing her trust in her father shatter was really hard for her to deal with. She had trusted her father. Now that trust was broken because of what happened with Taylor or Brooke or Ridge. As time went by, the secret love that Deacon and Taylor had, which was once a place for them, now felt like a problem. Deacon and Taylor did not know how to deal with this problem. They tried to talk to each other to think about what happened to save what was left. Every time they talked, they ended up back at the same point. Deacon and Taylor were now reminders of betrayal to everyone else. Taylor struggled with the idea of whether what she did was right or wrong. She wondered if love could ever make up for hurting people, if her desire for love had made her forget what was right. Deacon and Taylor's love was the issue. They did not know what to do about Deacon and Taylor's love. Deacon felt the weight of shame that he knew too well. He thought that no matter how hard he tried to do the thing, his past mistakes would always decide what happened in the end. Deacon and the people around him were at a point where they had to make a choice. If they stayed together, it would be like they were fighting against what people thought they should do. On the hand, if they left each other, it would be like they were giving up. Neither choice seemed like it would make things right with Deacon's past. Sheila was watching from away. You could still feel her around even when she was not there. She kept telling herself that she did not do anything. The truth is the truth. Secrets like the ones they had are bad. People need to know about them. When it was quiet and nobody was looking, Sheila felt really alone. Sheila knows what it is like to be known for the things you have done. Sheila felt this way because Sheila had done something in the past. The truth about Sheila and what Sheila did was going to come out. She had spent her life on the outside of forgiveness, always wanting to be close to people but always messing things up when they got too close to her. Watching Deacon and Taylor fall apart made her feel inside. It made her realize that forgiveness was not about telling the truth. Forgiveness was about Deacon and Taylor and how what she did affected Deacon and Taylor. She was changing what happened to Deacon and Taylor, and that kind of power meant she had to deal with the things that happened to Deacon and Taylor because of her. The bold and the beautiful people had a change in their lives. Alliances got stronger. Problems got worse. Brooke and Taylor were on sides again like they had been before. They tried to be grown-ups and deal with their past. Old feelings of hurt came back. Ridge was really angry and tired. He wondered if things would ever be okay in a world where people loved each other in complicated ways. Steffy was strong for her family. It was hard for her to keep going when things were so tough. For the Bold and the Beautiful family, Finn had a tough time keeping his work life and personal life separate. This was because Sheila had left a mess that was affecting his personal life. Hope was feeling really down. She started to question the people she loved the most. She was thinking about whether she could trust them. Finn and Hope were both having a time dealing with the problems that Sheila had caused. Sheila's 6 words really made something very clear. These words did not just show a love, they made every person think about the things they believed about forgiveness, growth, and change. Deacon had to think about if he could be forgiven or if it was something he would always be working on. He had to consider that some things he did wrong would never be fully made right. Taylor had to face the fact that being wise does not mean she will not want things she should not have, and that even people who help others can hurt them. Sheila's 6 words made everyone think about these things. The families involved had to deal with the fact that being open and honest is important, but it can also be very hurtful if it is not done in a kind way. The families involved had to face this reality. It was hard for them. Transparency is necessary. The families involved learned that transparency can be very destructive when it happens without people being compassionate towards the families involved. The damage was not about broken relationships or lost trust. It was about what happened when people were, by themselves, thinking about their lives. They realized the life they wanted was gone for good. The Bold and the Beautiful usually had surprises, but this one stayed with you because it felt real. It felt like it was supposed to happen. It felt like something that could happen to anyone. 6 words had undone years of careful restraint, proving that love hidden in the shadows is never truly safe, and that when truth finally surfaces, it doesn't just reveal. It reshapes everything it touches, leaving no one unchanged. In the weeks that followed, the bad things that happened kept getting worse in ways. It was like a hurt that Deacon felt every day. He tried to keep busy with his routine, thinking that work might make him feel a little better. Every place he went reminded him of what he lost and what he might never get back. The pain was always there, like a reminder of what happened to Deacon. He missed the people and things that were gone. It was hard for him to deal with it. Deacon kept doing his things, but it was not the same. He started to think about his actions, and he did not get upset as easily. He finally understood that being accountable is not just saying sorry, it is also about dealing with the consequences of what he did. He had to live with what happened without expecting people to forgive him away. Taylor, on the hand, spent a lot of time thinking about her life and her career. She thought about what was important to her and where she went wrong. She realized that if you are not honest with yourself and others when you love someone, it is like lying to yourself. This thought bothered her more than what other people thought of her. Taylor understood that love without honesty is not love. Brooke and Taylor were in the place again. This time they were not competing with each other. They were 2 women who were very tired of all the pain they had been through. They talked to each other in a way. They were honest with each other. They both knew that they had been hurt a lot. Brooke and Taylor understood that they would not be able to forget about everything. They would have to take some time to heal. They would have to think about what they were comfortable with and what they were not. Brooke and Taylor would have to set some boundaries that they should have set a time ago. Rich saw how uneasy things were between them, and it made him think really clearly. He realized that the real problem was not that someone did something to him. The real problem was that the same bad things kept happening over and over. Rich thought that this was what was really sad. The fact that they could not move on from the old hurts was what bothered him the most. Rich felt that the people around him were stuck in a cycle. They would get. Then they would do the same things that got them hurt again. Rich saw that this was a sad thing. The same things kept happening to them because they did not learn from their mistakes. Rich felt bad because he saw that they were stuck and they could not get out of this cycle. Rich thought about the people around him. He felt sad because they were hurt by the same things many times. Sheila was on the outside of everything. What she said was still affecting people. Her 6 words were still. They made every conversation difficult. People did not trust each other anymore. Sheila had started the problem. She could not make it better, and that was the strange part. The Sheila situation was a mess, and Sheila was the one who made it happen. What began as a calculated reveal had become a reckoning for everyone involved, a reminder that in the world of the bold and the beautiful, the past is never truly buried, love is never without cost, and sometimes the most devastating explosions arrive not with a scream, but with a whisper. As time pressed forward, the characters were forced to defy a sobering reality: life didn't break to accommodate heartache. Choices had to be made, paths named, and futures reimagined without the comfort of certainty. Deacon accepted that redemption couldn't be demanded or negotiated. It had to be earned still, if at all. Taylor resolved to step back, not as a discipline, but as an act of responsibility, fating that love without integrity only deepens the damage it leaves before. For those around them, the exposure came an assignment etched into memory. Trust, formerly fractured, needed tolerance and modesty to rebuild, and indeed also, it might no way return in its original form. Sheila's presence dallied as an exemplary symbol, evidence that verity applied without compassion can devastate as deeply as the falsehoods it exposes. And so the story moved forward not with check, but with metamorphosis. Each character changed, each relationship readdressed, and the echo of 6 simple words ever woven into the fabric of their lives, shaping every step that followed.